across to the first reaction that's coming in from the United States President Joe Biden. He's put out a detailed statement. I'm just going to read it out for you. Biden has said, and I quote, "Russia alone is responsible for the death and destruction this attack will bring. The United States and its allies will respond in a united and decisive way. The world will hold Russia accountable. Prayers of the entire world are with the people of Ukraine tonight as they suffer an unprovoked and unjustified attack by Russian military forces. President Putin has chosen a premeditated war that will bring a catastrophic loss of life and human suffering. I'll be monitoring the situation from White House this evening and get regular updates from my national security team. Tomorrow, I'll meet with my G7 counterparts in the morning. We'll coordinate with our NATO allies." Wait and watch seems to be the policy right now, Shiv, for the United States. But they're making it very, very clear that, this is something that they will hold Russia accountable for, as Biden has put it.
Akshita, the problem here is the Joe Biden administration has talked the big talk as far as holding Russia accountable, as far as, there being a devastating historic price to pay if military action is executed in Ukraine. But so far, the only weapon in America's bag has been sanctions. Sanctions after sanctions have been announced by the United States. In the wake of the United States, several other countries, from the United Kingdom to European countries, Japan, Australia, have all announced sanctions on Russia. The question that the Ukrainians are asking is, what kind of military counter will the West provide to Ukraine in the event of a full-scale attack by the Russians? If this is going to be an annexation or an invasion and not just a demilitarization, what then? What does Ukraine have if it doesn't have its military to protect it? So the question now is the precise question that I asked Gaurav, and he sounded a very ominous note, if you heard. He said that ultimately, when all the dust settles, when all the chess pieces have moved, no matter what NATO or the United States or Germany are saying at this point of time, none of these countries have an appetite or a stomach, Akshita, to put their own boots on the ground and physically protect Ukraine. So they're talking in terms of sanctions. They're talking in terms of economic action, canceling oil pipelines, energy projects, etc., etc. But when it comes to actually a military defense of Ukraine, neither the NATO nor the United States have committed any such thing at this point of time. And that's what Ukraine is asking for. Ukraine is saying it's well and good that you're doing all of these other things, but at the end of the day, if Russia attacks us, we need military hardware defense. We need people on the ground. We need missiles. We need guns. We need aircraft. We need air cover. Those things are not clear just yet. And that's the reason why this entire conversation of war has gone from the realm of threat, from innuendo, from insinuation, from Putin, leading the West down the garden path, to him, for God's sake, saying, we are declaring war right now. We're going to march our troops in. We're going to demilitarize Ukraine. We are conducting special operations in that area. We're going to denazify Ukraine. I mean, if this is not a declaration of war to the West, then they're nothing.